Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, Week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And taking down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The drive will begin with a run by Benson. And he's going to be hemmed in and blocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They'll go again with Benson. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Third play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
19 tight, 19 tight. 79 Broncos. Dragon 60. Mustang 19.
Back to throw. Harris. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Ariza is on the punt here as he gets this one away. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here for the 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
70, here we go.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2nd down and 4.
Hawk 70.
Operating from the gun, Mathis. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Come on. Set. Unlock 60 by 6. Bronco switch. Go.
1st down, here's Mitchell. And he's got an aggressive midfield still. And into Viking territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. You look at this defense for the Vikings. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
It looks like they'll move things around here.
60 Maverick. Panther 11.
2nd and 6. Pass complete down in the clear. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line.
Well, when you're facing a receiver like this, you always come into a game thinking, we've got to put our best corner on him. We've got to find a way to get him off his route. limit his touches. But that plan, not working too well in this opening drive. That's already 2 catches for him, and this one, good for a first down.
They run over center with Mitchell. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And the Rams are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Mitchell will score. Touchdown, L.A. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end and come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt? Turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
A nice little juke. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy. You understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us, and not have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's 2nd and 10.
18 Rattler.
Looking to throw. Harris. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. You talk about this Rams defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Trap 60, 19 Tiger, 19 tight, 19 tight. 7 Pirates, go!
Back to throw. Harris. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Here we go, set. Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Mathis. Going right side here, and that's complete. He is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
14 yards.
Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
First and goal, Los Angeles.
Here we go.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out. Did not allow him to cut upfield. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 to play.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
60 Eagles! 60 Eagles! Hurt! 60 Bobcats! 60 Bobcats!
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He'll try and do this himself. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
A 22-yard attempt.
He pushed it. Something looked off with a snap, and he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Vikings nothing.
That was an ugly-looking kick, and the snap largely to blame. These special teams operations are relying on everyone being on the same page, so even the slightest hiccup can lead to some missed kicks. That's exactly what we saw here.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Vikings
after 7-0 on EA Sports.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Benson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Vikings have 5 and 6 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's Harris operating from the gun. And this one is incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
19 Tiger!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
60, 18, Pioneer. Trap 60, go.
Looking to throw. Harris. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the returner down to a knee. And this will come out to the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. But, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
Rams, first down. A gain of 19 yards. First down, Rams.
A handoff from Mitchell running left. Oh, nice move. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. That good for 22 and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
60 Bobcat! 60 Bobcat! Here we go. Set. 70. Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up first and goal. They got to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, first and goal.
Cowboy 80.
Off play action. Mathis. This is caught. Touchdown. Terrence Ferguson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead.
The kick is good.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Breaks through the contact. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm not much a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Come 19! Come 19!
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Check smash! Check smash!
Banjo!
Buffalo 18! Ready?
Now Harris from the gun on third down. Open man, that's Fulton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
On first down, it's Benson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Decided to hit it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Chap alert! Ready, check, go!
Another run here with Benson. And he swallowed up near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
18 Rabbits. Come on. Set! Viking 18! 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. 19 tight, 19 tight. Ready?
From the gun on third down, Harris. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. But he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On fourth down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And they will take over first and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun, again to Mitchell. He'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. They work now on 2nd and 9. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And a solid run down inside the 30. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Los Angeles.
On the ready.
They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, nice situation. Dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that?
Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Taimi Fairbairn on for the field goal. A 42-yard
Fairbairn able to put this one through.
Good.
And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Tiger, 19, Tiger.
To throw is Harris. Throwing to start the drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Jefferson.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
A 10-point game, 17-7 to score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
Here we go, set, go.
Throwing to start the drive. Mathis. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. A turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Leads to second and 10.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Got it. Ready?
Second and 10.
Let's go.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Running left, here's Mitchell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
No. 18 Rattlers. Buffalo 18, 70 range. 70 range. Here we go. Ready.
From the gun on 3rd down. Mathis. He finds his man. Complete. That's Gonzalez. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43.
4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Hey, motion. Go street.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They throw it out right complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
60 Bobcat. Hey, 2. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Let's go.
Off the play fake. Mathis. He finds his man complete. That's Gonzalez. They'll get this this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
7 Pirates, Warriors 17, Cup 19, Cup 19.
Harris now throwing to start the drive. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
A give up the middle with Benson. Well, he's able to climb out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back to throw. Harris. And he fires one, but incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Trap 60, trap 60.
And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Looking to throw. Harris. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. And then Mitchell, 36 yards. And the Vikings take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Looking for one, that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
Jeanette, 18, Pioneer, Panther 60,
Off play action, Mathis. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And it is caught. And they'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
1st down. A gain of 34 yards. And the Rams.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Again, he'll drop to throw. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
L.A.
Puka Nacua, 27 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Rams 24, Vikings 14. Kaimi Fairbairn set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he returns this to the 22.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo, the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Here we go. Set. Cougar 19. 7 Pirates. 60 Mavericks. 6 Dragon 60. Ready.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's first and 10 at the 38. A give left side for Benson. And tough slide. They get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
60 Eagles, 79 Broncos. 19 tight, 19 tight. Warriors 70. Go.
Harris from the gun on third down. This is intercepted. And they can't bring him down. And the Rams are going to take possession here at their own 33. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now a play fake here on first down. There's that man again. It's complete. Touchdown, LA! Puka Nacua with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Rams will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
31, Vikings 14.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Trap 60, trap 60. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Ready.
Second down and inches. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Ty Felton with touchdown number 20 of the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third.
Rams 31, Vikings 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Here's a diving catch right side. And he's going to be taken to the ground right there at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
A give here to Mitchell. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the handoff, Mitchell. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
First down. It's a gain of 20. First down, Rams.
Off the play fake, Mathis. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Back to throw again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Vikings are right back in this football game. That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And this one's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
He's going to let him go deep for Mitchell. They got his man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. And now Mitchell, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Sheds off the tackle. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
26-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
It's a gain of 14
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Now it's 2nd and 10. They run. It's Mitchell.
Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the gun on 3rd down. Mathis. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
10 yards.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
They go play action here on 1st down. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Los Angeles.
76, Panther 11, Panther 11, go!
Off play action. Mathis. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And he will maneuver his way down about the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mathis.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Shotgun snap and a give to Benson.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Here now, third down.
Ready. 19 tight. 19 tight. Mustang 19. 79 Broncos. Dragon 60. Hut, hut.
Back to throw. Harris.
A short throw held in by Trimble. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
70 Lions. 18 Pioneer. 19 ready.
They'll look to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Rams have just about sewn up this football game.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game not quite over yet. We'll likely see them take all three timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's a gain of
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
First down, Rams.
Get up, go.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to have a Rams first down